Well, I think fame and Muscle Shoals music is here because we're fiercely independent. We've been doing business with Bank Independent since the 70s, and to know that they've got our back, it means a lot. They've always been there, and it's always just been a phone call away.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
Well, good afternoon to you folks. Ben Luna here with you in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center for this edition of Live at 5. I'm filling in for Fred Gossage, who's taking today off. I hope today has found you in a good spot. Before we get into a very busy pattern, I want to bring hopefully a little peace of mind to you, tell you what's going on and what you can expect as we get ready to head into a winter storm event across the Tennessee Valley. All that you need to know you'll find right here in this weather update, made possible this afternoon by our good friends down at Bank Independent, serving North Alabama. With that said, let's hop right into it. We'll start this weather update with a check on the Arctic Air Skycam network. This is overlooking beautiful downtown Waynesboro, courtesy of our friends at CMB Linen. It's a cold Wednesday evening rain. Currently, it's 43 degrees outside with a light breeze currently from the south-southeast at 3 miles per hour. We'll continue our tour of Skycams from high atop Fort Hill in downtown Pulaski from the Giles County Emergency Management Agency. It's not 89. I'll get that fixed. I wish it were, though. We wouldn't be having this discussion that I'm going to have here in a few minutes with you, but at least downtown Pulaski looking as beautiful as ever this evening with a little rain on the camera lens this evening. So please be careful as you head to your Wednesday evening destination because of those wet old roads across the area. It's 47 in Florence this hour, overlooking the UNA campus, high atop Rivers Hall. Things looking just fine there in the River City this evening, with barely a breeze blowing from the south at 1 miles per hour. It is 45 in the mule capital of the world, Columbia, Tennessee. Rocket City is calling in at 53 this hour. Fayetteville, Tennessee is at 48. Lawrenceburg's at 45. The same in Savannah. We've got 49 in downtown Russellville. 53 degrees, one of the warmer spots too, is Moulton, and around 45 in downtown Iuka during this 5 o'clock hour. Live Doppler weather radar here over the past little bit showing that rainfall gradually making an eastward move across our viewing area. I think a lot of that rainfall is eventually going to wind down this evening, leaving us with a mostly cloudy sky in place for just a bit, and then some clearing as we head toward tomorrow morning. Well, let's go ahead and meet it at the top of this forecast because we have a lot to cover over the next few minutes. We are looking for a potential winter storm in the area. For that reason, a winter storm watch has been issued for all of our viewing area counties. I'll show you that map coming up in just a second. But let's kind of go down the bullet points one by one. The general timeline. For the most part, I think this is going to occur starting Friday evening and then really ramp up into Saturday, and it's going to be here through much of your Sunday. I think at times some model guidance is suggesting maybe a brief change back over to rainfall. We'll see how that plays out, but I think for the most part, this timeline is holding true. We've shown this for the past couple days. I think that's still good. There are some other elements that are evolving, but I think that this is still a good timeline. The impact, well, this is where things have evolved a little bit because at one point, we were looking at the potential for quite a bit of snow in the area, and now models flip-flopped to where that snow impact shifted far north, and now recent model runs are starting to try to bring that a little bit back further south. So regardless, do think there will be travel impacts. Power outages will be possible. Snow and ice, regardless of who sees more or less of what, both are on the table for this event, depending on where you are. It will depend on what you see. Again, more on that in just a second. And then this is the part that I'm really worried about, okay? Yes, ice, snow, that's its own thing. The last bullet point, extreme cold as we move into the latter part of the weekend and next week. That's going to get us, I'm afraid, in terms of being a potentially deadly situation for some people across our viewing area. Because people's homes, some of them, especially the elderly, not able to heat their homes properly. And I think that's going to lead to a number of issues. And I think Also, and I've been in so many meetings today, I've lost count, with emergency services, emergency management agencies all across the area. I want to really drive home this heartfelt point. People worry about how much is it going to snow? How much is, are we going to be out of school? Are we going to get enough snow? I want to go sled. Okay, that's fine. That's part of the experience. But place something higher. Is my neighbor okay? I need to go knock on that door and check on the little lady or the little man that lives down the street. I want to make sure that they're okay, because we're getting into conditions. It's going to limit their ability to get out, period. And then with the extreme cold, they may not be in a good position to where they're properly heating their home. And in that safely heating their home, that's a whole different ball of wax, is the safely heating part. Please check on your neighbors, especially with that extreme cold. It's not just about sledding. It's not just about the potential impacts for ice. Check on your neighbors, please. As I said, our entire viewing area under a winter storm watch. This is valid Friday, beginning at 6 p.m. through Saturday at 6. This will probably be upgraded, of course, as we get into the main event. Okay, so what are we looking at? Here's how things are kind of falling right now. This is not gospel truth, okay? Since we made this graphic today, things have really started to shift again. As we move into tomorrow, this is the way forecast models work, okay? Forecast models will run their best guess, their best estimate. The human element plays a role to where we look at, based on our experience and everything that we have available to us, and we make a forecast. A forecast model, as it gets closer to the actual event, increases its ability to be accurate, okay? So therefore, the forecast is obviously going to change and shift. We get a lot of people who say, I thought you were calling for this amount of snowfall. Well, that's why we try not to talk about accumulation amounts until we get closer in, because we don't want to falsely alarm you or falsely get your hopes up for good powdery snow. In this case, the way things shifted over the course of today, as what looked to be a major snow event for the area, has actually now shifted up from Alabama of being a potential ice storm event for parts of southern Tennessee, especially West Tennessee, and then points kind of running the I-40 corridor up toward Nashville, and then into Kentucky becomes more of the heavier snow potential, while folks in the shoals deal with a mix. Potentially over in Huntsville stays rain, and Birmingham possibly stays at 50 degrees. So that's how close we are, and why Fred and I both don't have hair. All jokes aside, this is a very complicated forecast. It is still evolving. I don't want to go on record yet and say, hey, we're looking at this amount of ice accumulation or ice accretion potentially, because I think it's going to change overnight. I don't think we're there yet to really nail down and say, gospel truth, this is what you can expect. As we move into tomorrow, absolutely. We'll get good data tonight, good data in the morning, and then I think maybe on my shift in the morning, because I do Thursday mornings, if not then by Taylor's midday show, we'll be able to talk about the actual, what you can expect on the ground as we go forward through this event, okay? So that's how things are shaping up. I do think in southern Tennessee at this point, more ice than snow. North Alabama, mixed. Southern Tennessee, prepare, okay? We'll have more information. We interviewed EMA directors today. We talked to fire chiefs. We're putting all that together for you, and we'll have out on our platform. Here's the timeline of events. Some clearing as we head into Thursday, okay? Not a bad way to start the day. It's going to be chilly, but then we warm back up to the 50s for tomorrow afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Not a bad forecast for your Thursday, but clouds increase Friday. Here comes a few light showers, and then the potential first wave of wintry precip starting to show up on Futurecast as soon as Friday afternoon. My gut feeling, that's probably going to be just a little bit later in time. I'm not going to completely rule out the potential for some Friday afternoon impact, but for the most part, the bigger stuff, I think, is coming Friday night. Now, this is the Euro model. That's what ECMWF stands for. This is the Euro guidance. Notice good blast of cold air coming in as we head through Friday. And then here comes the moisture, okay? I am showing you some forecast model data. I'm not going to show any type of accumulation amounts, but I'm just showing you the overall track and really how close we are, okay? Notice that mixed precip and then all rainfall just to the south. And then how this continues to migrate and move is dependent on the warmer air that's trying to find its way in from the south across the area. Some new model runs that are just starting to drop, trying to push this back further south. That's why I want to wait until tomorrow before we pull the trigger on just how much of what we can expect. Regardless, that's going to be here through Sunday night before things finally start to improve again as far as clearing that stuff out into Monday. But we do have a whole new set of problems in terms of temperatures. Here's the high. 26 degrees on Saturday, 28 Sunday, morning low Sunday at 14. 11 degrees will be the morning low for your Monday. By Tuesday, 32 is the freezing mark. That's the melting point of water. I don't think we're close enough to really say, hey, this is well enough above freezing, but for the record, yeah, it's 33. 9 degrees will be the morning low, and then we're going to flirt with chilly temperatures on and off for much of next week. All right, that is your forecast from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Good-looking guys here in the morning. He'll get your day started. His name's Ben Luna. Tune in. We'll bring you the very latest. Taylor's in the midday, and the world-famous, fantastic Fred Gossage along the way, live at 5 Thursday evening from this very spot. Thanks for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. Have a safe and blessed Wednesday evening.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.